83K BTC, and another choppy week in the bag for us, especially some of these altcoins, a little bit of up, a little bit of down. But today, guys, we're talking about Tesla. There's so much FUD at the moment on Tesla. Is this actually presenting a buy opportunity, or should we be waiting for lower? So we're going to cover the whole Tesla situation. Then we naturally covering BTC, all the levels. I've got some banging guests today. We've got longs, we've got shorts on these altcoins. We've got so much to talk about here on a Friday. Let's get right into it. And remember, as always, hit the like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. Now, my menu is full here at the bottom. I got so many people here. Here's DJ and Dave in the house. He's got a long, he's got a short, coming in is hot. Coming in hot, and he is hot. Okay, and here's another hot man. He's also hot. He's coming in hot, longs and shorts. And you guys know, obviously know James. He's in the house. Okay, ready to roll here, guys. So a nice banger Friday show. This is super exciting. And cake pumping again. So aren't we glad, Sean, bro? Come on, is this too much chest? Is this too much? Come on. Bullish chest, bro. Bullish chest. Short-term pump. Cake, 15% up. But is this the end of the move? Is it short time on cake? We know some of our hackers, traders were looking at a cake short earlier. I know DJ and Dave is fiddling around on short cake at the moment. So something is going down. Will it be round two for a cake short for us? So something to look forward to there. Bearer chain, I don't have that one today, but all around everything is a little bit red. And look at not gonna lie here on the right. NTGL. I still don't know what the fuck this thing is, but we'll call it not gonna lie. Negative 15%. So this was a proper pumper yesterday, and this thing has rolled over. So all around a little bit of chop, and all we can say is the shorts are still printing from the disappointing FOMC and the even more disappointing Trump speech yesterday. So that was a little bit of a letdown for everybody, but let's see where we are with BTC, and hopefully I can find the right chart on the first go. There it is. Okay, second go. Okay, let's talk BTC on the 2 hour, and just to reassess where we were. So yesterday we did touch on the fact that we closed the gap just after that FOMC. So we had a beautiful gap close there to the upside. That was a fake out through our 86 to 87 zone, and that played out really nicely. So now we are actually moving into what we should consider a short-term potential bounce zone. But this is not like a zone where we get extremely excited and things like this, because we know currently the macro situation isn't super bullish at the moment. We know the general trend is actually sending us down on the higher time frames. So this could just be the start of some bearish breakdown here on BTC. So in terms of what I'm looking for here today, bounce zone for me, 82,500, this type of region here could offer us a push to the upside. Then what you're going to look for is resistance, 85K. You can see why 200-day moving average, horizontals in the way. That makes sense to me. Then we've got our big one here, 86,500 to the upside. And wouldn't this be interesting? Some kind of double top here, and then bang, they come and completely end us here this weekend if we do get something like that. So first hit zone, 82,500, watching that area. Then as we go lower down, we need to start prepping and start planning for much deeper and darker levels. So for example, if they come and bleed us out this weekend and they drop us into, say, this $80,000 level, even a wick onto this VWAP somewhere here, we're going to need to be teeing up bearish leading into Monday, Tuesday, because we're most likely going to be looking for something like that. And we're going to be sending that thing down. Probably 73, 70K potentially could be on the table. Now, we'll ask Dave and we'll ask Chaos how they or what they are thinking at the moment about BTC, but that is currently my game plan. That is what I'm looking for at the moment on the 2 hour chart. So something could be brewing here for us. And we know these alts have bled up. They've bled off quite a lot in the last couple of hours. So might be some kind of short-term bounce coming in hot for us. Now, let's get into some of the news. Let's get into some of the things. And in terms of the most important, how is everybody feeling? President, celebrities, rug pools. Let's see what else we got here. The Bybit hack. What else we got?
We are down tonight.
Mt. Gox repayment plan. I mean, what can they throw at us? I'm just so used to it. I'm immune to this. What else? Tariffs. How's your portfolio feeling? Mine's feeling fresh. I'm literally feeling abused, like that guy lying in the corner. Is this a fair representation, sir?
100%.
100%. Okay, well, that is basically how mine feel. Look at these beautiful bubbles at the bottom. I'm loving this new, I see Brothers Carpet Cleaning talking about the kitchen sink. Is he throwing the kitchen sink at it? Now, guys, this is something we're going to talk about as well. What do you think about this Honda? Look at this thing. It's actually a Tesla. So this is what these guys are doing. They are disguising their Teslas, guys. So stick around. We're going to be talking about this situation in a second. Why are people disguising their Teslas as Hondas? I mean, Dave, is this happening in America? Are you seeing this anywhere?
Dude, that's insane. I had no clue. What's the motive?
Bro,
are you disguising yours?
No, I like to represent Tesla. They must be ashamed of Tesla.
Well, it's the whole Elon boycott. Everybody's burning these things down. You better be careful, man.
So yeah, Dave, I mean, Dave's got a Tesla. I'm getting concerned. Okay, well, let's take a look here and let's see. We're gonna dive into this Tesla chart in a sec. Okay, now what did we have yesterday? Wasn't this another fucking letting the helium balloon out of gas? I mean, what an absolute letdown here. Cointelegraph says Donald Trump spoke at the crypto summit. Key takeaways: strategic crypto reserve assets won't be sold, unlike Biden's policy. Don't we know this already? Stablecoin regulation, a clear and structured framework is in the works. Don't we know this already? US as a crypto capital. Don't we know this already? So where's the bull news? Okay, so we saw yesterday the market was kind of pumping just before, and this is how everyone was teeing it up again yesterday. Thanks, Uncle Donald. Straight to hell. Okay, again. I mean, we're gonna watch this on replay. Like, there was nothing new yesterday, and let's move on from that. But let's talk S&P. Let's talk Tesla. Let's talk Meta. And we got a couple of others. And then we're diving into all these altcoins. And we got tons of things happening for you guys. Okay, Tindo says he's looking for Tesla entries. Now, Zenzen says take the short elevator to hell. I like that. Okay, S&P, guys, still pretty bearish here for us at the moment. And a little bit red today. Now, we know we had triple witching. We had all sorts of drama in the market about the options close out all over the place. And all that means for us is that there is lots of volatility and things like that we need to look out for. But you can see today, nothing serious so far in the markets, but S&P is a little bit red. So in terms of my current plan for the S&P, what do I think I'm still going to see? So again, guys, upside 5,750, that's a rejection zone, 5,900 rejection zone, and then downside support 5,500. So looking for bounces at 5,500, looking for sells 5,750, 5,900. That's pretty much the game plan on the S&P. Now you'll see when we talk about the Bitcoin chart as well, you're going to see they actually tying up or teeing up pretty bearish, both of them at the moment. So any pumps, we are relatively bearish on the situation as a whole. Now you saw that picture that what do we call that? A Tonda. A Tesla Honda or yeah, a Tonda. I think that's a fair call for it. But basically, Tesla is going for its 9th straight red week, which would be its longest losing streak in history. Now, that's not a good sign, but we've seen so much FUD around Tesla. Now, obviously, people are taking exception to Elon Musk getting involved with Trump and getting involved with the government. We know this whole thing is very divisive, and people have quite strong opinions. So there's a lot of drama going on here with Tesla. I mean, this was now we saw this one today. I mean, some guy, a masked male, hunted down a woman for driving a Tesla. What the hell's going on here? Look at him. And I mean, they're very upset with Tesla drivers. And we reported on this yesterday. Tesla owners are getting doxxed as extremists launch nationwide attacks. What is going on here? Look at these guys. What's going on here? So they...
You know what? I just saw... just before the show, and I haven't verified it, I just saw it quickly, is that apparently every single Cybertruck has just been recalled too, because the body panels are flying off. And are
no, man, you don't spread FUD on Tesla. I want to go long.
No, okay, no, that didn't happen. Never mind.
Okay, stop FUDding Tesla. We're going long shortly. Now, Kevin O'Leary's blast the bozo Tim Waltz over rooting for Tesla stock to crash. I mean, it's funny, when you get involved in politics, then everything starts falling over. So we just watched the show from the sideline here, eat some popcorn and things like that. But he wasn't very impressed either.
I'm talking about Tim Waltz and his comments about the Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state.
I mean,
that's their investment fund.
Point,
what a bozo.
The Minnesota Tesla State Board of Investment, they have 1.6 million shares in Tesla in their retirement fund, 211,000 shares in a non-retirement fund. It's a relatively small amount, but that's one company, one single stock, and that's because Tesla...
you get the picture. I mean, it's the politics are all over the place now in Tesla. But the question I'm asking, okay, this is also why we're harping on about this. Is this actually an opportunity to buy? Is this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to buy Tesla? Do we believe that Tesla is fundamentally strong enough to actually get through this? And looking at the charts with the amount of FUD we're seeing, and Tesla's actually just hanging around at the moment, I believe we are pretty close to at the very least, quite a strong bounce here on Tesla. So I'm being very patient at the moment. We've missed our first entry for that long last week, but looking at the charts, I think, guys, it's very clear, and we might not get our entry immediately, but in terms of Tesla, the way this price action is holding at the moment, considering the level of FUD out there, I think this thing snapbacks pretty quickly and is going to give us some kind of big move here, and it's going to be a beautiful play because we're going to be able to 20x long this on BTCC. So waiting patiently, guys. Again, I spoke about this yesterday. 213, 214, big zone for me. Then a little bit lower down, we've got our 180 to 190 zone on Tesla. I believe one of those is going to give us a very big move on Tesla. So we might have one or two cracks at this thing on the way, but I'm seeing a 25% bounce from there, and I'm seeing we will probably get about a 25 to 30% from those lows. So it's just a matter of patience. If we get this 214, we're testing it again for a nice strong bounce. If they bleed us lower down, for me, 182, 183, somewhere in that region, looking for a strong bounce on Tesla. I think this thing snapbacks and we get a nice move. Chamburn says, doesn't matter, but in the long run, Tesla will be worth more, especially when the robot comes out. That you see. So everybody is speculating. And that is why this thing's held such a massive value. If you look comparatively to similar types of companies, this thing is actually completely overvalued. Now, the interesting thing about this comment about the robot that he's talking about, that robot actually doesn't work. The robots you saw on the demos were people using remote controls behind a curtain, controlling that thing from what I understand. So this was just a promise to develop these robots. Tinfoil hat is on.
Where is it? I was going to say, that's the wrong color hat, man. I smell the tinfoil.
Tinfoil hat is on, okay? But that's just a promise to develop these robots from what I understand. So people like to, invest in the future, and that is why this price keeps front running. So as long as Musk keeps saying this is coming, that is coming, the price will keep pumping and will keep going up. It's when he runs out of ideas that this Tesla price starts falling over. So something to watch. And Alex says loads of stocks are overvalued. Yes, like loads of shit coins as well. I mean, it's the same process at the end of the day. Now, let's quickly touch on Meta. This has also been a fun one for us at the moment. Meta is the only Magnificent 7 stock currently trading above its 200-day moving average. Okay, didn't we say that this was an important level in terms of what the guys like on the S&P? We know the S&P guys love a 200-day moving average. They make a big scene about this all the time. And for me, when you get a stock dropping in or around a 200-day MA, you can get relatively excited about it, and you can look for little scalps off those types of zones. So that is why we went for our first buy there on Meta off that 200-day MA. And to be fair, we got a nice bounce. We got a 5.7% bounce there off Meta. And now the key here is, can we get through Friday? Can we hold these types of levels and maybe have a nice bullish Monday on Meta and take us to 620, take us to 650? So that is what I'm going for at the moment on BTCC. And you can see I've only filled one order so far. That was off the 200-day MA. I do have backup orders in case they want to flush us a little bit lower. We've got 556 and 540, and we're looking for a nice little move here. And if we can get a 10%, maybe 15 out of this thing, it could be a little bit of fun for us. So I'm trading all of this, guys, on BTCC. So you can just send crypto to BTCC, and then you can trade these stocks. There's Meta, there's Apple, there's all sorts of things going on. And remember, everything I talk about is sitting under the show description for you. Click on more, and you'll find it here at the bottom of the show description. Now, I'm also running a poll. I want to see how you guys are feeling. And I see 54% are bearish. Wow, guys, look at this. There's no bulls left in the house. 17% are saying we pump this weekend. 54% are saying we dump. 29 saying flat. That sounds like a bullish weekend, guys. I don't know. Dave?
I'm down for a bullish weekend, man. Give me the bullish weekend.
I'd take a bullish. Chaos likes a bullish weekend as well. Okay, maybe Trump can come and fuck it up for us though. Let's see. Okay, let's go. Let's talk BTC. And I want you guys up here at the moment because look, you've seen this chart a million times. But for me, bigger picture, until we reclaiming 90 to 93K. I mean, we talk about this area. I'm not going to get fussy exactly where we are. I'm looking for a fake out into that region. But as long as we are under that region over there, I want to see 70K. I want to see 59. I want to see 52. Are we that bearish?
52, man.
I mean, I don't even think that's bearish, but I mean, I'd love that because it's more money for our shorts and a better opportunity for some swing longs. And that's what I'm thinking.
So do you have a zone in mind? Like, where's your ultimate buy zone? Where's your ape zone where you say, fuck, this is the bottom?
70 to 73. I already have alerts there. Yeah, there's just a lot. That's an area that I've been talking about for a while now.
Chaos, where's your bottom? Where do you literally sell the wife?
70,777.
70,777.
0.50. Yeah, I've had this marked out for about 2 weeks as well.
Okay, I'm selling the hamster down here. I'm not selling the wife. She's a good one. I'm selling the hamster down there. And she's watching the show probably. Never sell the wife. 51K. Okay, that's my level where I go literally get the hamster out the cage and we sell the hamster. We tell the kids soz kiddos. Hamster's gone. Okay, so 51. That's where it's at for me. Okay, we'll look. We'll come back to this if we ever go there, even if it's in 2028. We'll come back to this video at 51. James, do you concur? At some point, we're going back there. At some point,
yep.
Thank you. Okay, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into altcoins. We've got setups. I'm going to cover you with tons of things. And obviously, these are the hackers. These are the hackers, boys. Now, this is only a small portion of the Chart Hackers team that you see here in front of you. We've got an amazing crew in Chart Hackers, and if you like what they have to say, you like what to do, well, you can catch them in Chart Hackers pretty much every single day. And we do, well, you got a session tonight, right, Dave?
Yeah, in about, an hour?
Okay, so an hour from now, Dave's got a hackers session. Sunday nights, we do the Sunday night banger. Chaos is also doing tons of sessions there. You know him. Okay, we're going to get into it now. Okay, let's go. Let's go on. Let's talk total market cap. Oh, let's get it out. I never talk about total market cap, and I thought today's the day that we should actually pull the total crypto market cap out. I pulled out the monthly chart for you guys, and just an interesting one for us to look at. You can see this thing looks very similar to the Bitcoin chart, and I think that's fair that it does. But you can see this thing is sitting on major support now on a macro 382 fib as well. Look at that 382 macro fib for us in play, and we've had a little wick below the trend. And for me, this is like the do or die zone. I mean, if we start losing this is where we're going to find Bitcoin at that 51K. So in terms of the entire crypto market right now, it's sitting on monthly support. It's sitting on a macro 382. This is a must bounce. This is a bounce now or cut it off. Now, I don't even have my bounce now or cut it off here with me, unfortunately. But this is the bounce now or cut it off zone for us on the total crypto market cap. I mean, it could be messy down here at this 1.8 trillion, but that is where we're going to find BTC then to the downside. Okay, PMG George says he's sending his portfolio to hell. Well, guys, look, brace yourselves because this might come into play, and this is exactly why I'm not closing this BTC short. I was saying on the hackers Zoom this morning, a part of me feels that this entry at this 86, what do we got here? 86,680. It feels like it's could be one of those entries that sends Bitcoin to 73K. And I'm currently torn now with how I want to play this, because I can either close that Bitcoin short and close that ETH now, and they're going to net each other out because I've cut some of that ETH position after that pump, or I can leave this thing and let's see if BTC BTC goes back to its box at around 73k. So a little bit torn on this one as to how we're going to play this, but nice that we got that entry. That was just that CME pump into that nice zone, and now we wait and see. But a couple of things we want to pay attention to is the liquidation heat map, and I've pulled out the 1 week for you guys, and this is an interesting one for you to look at because you can see to the downside, this is where we got the bulk of our liquidity at the moment. And look at this juicy zone just around 80,000 to 81,000. That is a beautiful little area there for us, 80 to 81k, and that looks to me like an easy target for us on BTC. But what does that do to us if we do go down to those types of levels? Well, you can see here's our 81, and this tees us up for this bearish setup. So I just want to see if this is going to play out here, because if we take that liquidity, we're bouncing on a 618, then we're teeing up a little bit bearish. So could be nice. Maruk, what is 250x? What is going on here? That's she's taken profits already, I would hope, at 250x. Okay, let's go. Let's get a couple of setups here and let's see where we are. Okay, so let's start obviously with our old favorite, and look, we're going to see this again, 1886, and I'm not taking this tweet anywhere until ETH is over 2,000, give or take. We're going to look for that, but in terms of ETH, guys, short and sweet game plan: 2-1 rejection, 2-4 rejection. You can see we've already front run that 2,100, so I am a little bit concerned at the moment. And then key support 1.5 to 1.6. That's the exit plan. That's the long plan for ETH, 1.5 to 1.6. That's a pretty high conviction long zone. And just a note, the Ethereum Foundation, from what I still remember, they getting liquidated here at 1,080. They are in a leveraged position, and 1,080, give or take, is where they are getting liquidated, if I'm not mistaken. And that will be also a nice long. Okay, maybe Chaos will sell the wife there as well. And yeah, he's nodding furiously. I think $1,000 ETH will be good value. Okay, let's go. We're going to jump through these things because I want the boys to cover you guys with some setups. But Sol, no changes. This is Sol on the weekly for me, and you can see our big level 110. I do expect Sol to eventually come back to this 88 to 79 zone. It makes sense to me. And reminder, we do have a 786 fib at 69, so just under that 70 there. We've got a 786, so that is still my game plan for Sol, and I'm not writing off a potential Sol bounce. We're gonna have to see. Chaos, did you bring Sol for us today? No Sol. Okay. Okay, so anyway, this is the game plan for Sol on the 2 hour. So remember what I like to do, I look at Sol on the weekly, then I'll zoom in and say, in the context of a lower time frame, what are we looking for? Now, you will note that a lot of these charts are going to be looking very similar to BTC. BTC is putting pressure on a trend at the moment, and we might have a situation where everything starts losing trend and starts getting a little bit bearish. So in terms of yesterday, if you watched yesterday's show, my entry zone for a bounce play on Sol was this 123 to 121, and this still stands for me. Okay, you can see we've got an order block, we've got a 618, so I would expect a degree of a move here from Sol. So looks like we're going to hit that one in a second or two. Well, not in a second, maybe in an hour or two, but 123 to 121 makes sense to me for a bounce on Sol. So looking for a move there. Upside targets, we're not going to get greedy. We keep it super simple. 129, and you're looking at 136 to 140. Those are the extreme highs that I would expect on some kind of bounce there on Sol, but not getting super bullish just yet on some of these shit coins. And then OM, I might have a couple of setups for you guys to watch this weekend and just wait for, because they might be coming in hot for you. So just in terms of what's going on here, there's massive OM accumulation detected according to Spot on Chain. He says over the past 4 days, 19 fresh wallets, possibly one entity, have withdrawn 61 million OM. Okay, that's 3.4% of the total supply from Binance at an average price of 6.8. Okay, their current unrealized loss stands at $14 million, but they've taken out 3% of the supply. I mean, that's pretty intense, what is going on there. And in terms of, where this thing, John says, look, OM is quite a thing. It seems to be its own beast. It seems to do, trade its own moves. But what we do know is that it does love a horizontal. It does love a bit of a fib. And in terms of speculative moves, Degens, this is for you. If you're looking for a a potential bounce on OM, you can fiddle around in this type of area, 6.08 down to about 5.95. That makes sense for me on the 12-hour chart. That is a little bounce zone that you want to be watching. So might not be a massive bounce, but you can get some kind of reaction there. If there is more of a push after that, we'll say, oh, well, this is a nice W reversal pattern, and then we'll get super excited because we're breaking trends and things like that. But take baby steps. Let's start with a reaction, 6.08 down to about 5.95. Looks interesting to me. If that zone doesn't hold, well, I think you're going to get a very similar move here. 5.35 makes a lot of sense to me as well as a potential bounce. Now, what size move can you get out of that? Well, for me, you're going to get about a 15%er off that lower level. And if you take it a little bit higher up, you're going to look at about an 11 to about a 14%er off the first level. So 6.08 to 5.95 could be a 15%er, and then 5.35 could be a 15%er. Matty says, Sol isn't a shit coin. I have my entire net worth in it. Matty, sure. Or the eggs in a basket there, bro. Let's hope this thing starts pumping. Are you a Sol bull?
You asked to see Sol. I've got Sol for you as well, if you like.
No, you've got Sol. Okay, just like that, he's magicked some Sol. Okay, let's magic some Sol there for chaos, and then we're gonna get into Dave, and we're gonna get into. I've got 3 or 4 setups here waiting for you guys. So lots is going down at the moment. Let's get this thing up.
Let me share. I've got to share again.
I'm gonna find your chart.
There you go. It's there. It's coming now. There you go.
There you go. Okay.
Cool. So just a very, very quick one. Very basic look at this. The thing with Solana, okay, I mean, we're following some sort of potential uptrend. The thing is, we had a short print. We've also had a reaction off the quantum reactor. The candles have gone from green to pretty much red. And the thing that's bothering me is the cash flow, actually, it's just turned red. So I know that we want really to see a bounce here to get through this QR and use it as a bounce. But honestly, I think we're actually going to break this. I think we're going to take out the orders, use this for a retest, and then continue on down. I really do. This doesn't look done to me yet.
Small bounce. What is it? 128 maybe?
So the bottom of the order block is 121, 122. It lines up with the previous wicks twice. So if you guys see 121 anything, then there's a bounce to 4% bounce on a 10x. That's a reasonable trade up to 125, 126. And then I think we get the rejection off this trend line.
Okay, not ready yet, guys. You can see the bounce zone. So if you want to play the game, that bounce zone it's valid. It's a valid bounce zone. It could turn into something more later on. Just understand your risk. You've had 2 bearish views on this. If there is a bounce, maybe you tighten up those stops quite quickly and then see how you go. Okay, let's get out. Yesterday I was in a couple of shorts. I want to update those. I've got hype for you guys. I've got Sonic for you guys, and then we're unleashing the beasts. And he looks ready. He looks primed and ready there. Look at that man. Looks ready. He did his hair for us this morning. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Okay, Chaos. I have to stop sharing your screen. Right there we go. Sorry, boomer vibes. Here we go. Okay. Boys, hang out if you want to. Enjoy the show. You can see we've got nice selling from XRP. Okay, so this was a nice one. Those of you who were watching yesterday, I was sitting in XRP short on the upside there, and we are pushing down into our first bounce zone. So doesn't this look very similar to Solana? Doesn't it look, similar to many other alts? We are dropping into reaction zones. I suspect when we hit these zones, we're going to get some kind of bounce out of these tokens. So I don't think we should write a bounce off, but the question is, how high is it going to bounce? So if we do get a bounce off these zones, guys, just remember, tighten up your stops. Don't ape massive size and play accordingly, knowing that things are super choppy. So just my basic assessment on XRP, 4-hour wants to come lower. That's looking pretty tired still. Is it enough to bounce at 2.25 potentially? But in terms of this 4-hour, if they get really aggressive with us, we might actually see ourselves in the final trip taking us back to 2. But what does that look like? Well, for me, it could easily be a drop into the zone sometime today or in this weekend, and then a nice bounce on XRP, and then ultimately a reversal play, and that will give us something along those lines. Okay, so that is just something we need to watch at the moment. I'm sitting still short XRP here from yesterday. On L-Bank, I'm about to fully round trip on my Peppy. We had about I think we had a 7 or 8% Peppy bounce, and we never got the follow through. Aptos, I'm still short from yesterday. Ton was that short that I gave you guys yesterday. That is now playing out. Carver was a short from Panda today on our Hacker Zoom session, and Hype is along from me earlier today on the Zoom, and S is along from me earlier today on Chart Hackers as well. So Hype looks interesting. This is the Hype guy in front of us. You can see there's a little bit of energy here at the moment, and it's starting to push. So let's jump into Hype and let's see where we are here. But just in terms, just finishing XRP, I'm going to close the short ASAP. You can see I've got a VWAP here. I'm looking for a bounce. So 2.32 down to 2.25, guys, looking for a bounce on XRP. So look out there. That is a long zone for me on XRP. I'm going to exit that short. Let's go S. This is Sonic, Old Phantom. Spoke about this today in Chart Hackers, and there were a couple of things that we were looking for on Chart Hackers. Let's just go back to trading setups here, and let me just find, here's the Hype update. Here's S. Let's go to this morning. Let's see where we were here. Here we go. Okay, so I told the guys I'm buying a little bit of S. I'm nibbling around in this area, and we were looking for this bullish divergence to start playing out. Where's our S chart? There it is. Okay, so there, early doors, we were looking at S, looking for this bullish divergence, and it's holding the levels now for us at the moment. So I'm still looking for a bounce. You can see we've got our blue reversal dot. We've got a snake eyes, and things are starting to turn up a little bit there for us. So I've earmarked 2 levels for you guys. So I don't want to guarantee and say this is a slam dunk off the zone, because they might drop us a little bit more. So in terms of the chart you are watching, this is a 1.5. It's even less. If you're longing here, your risk here for a candle close is about 1%. Okay, if you miss that zone, your next risk for your next bounce zone is about 1.3%. So there were 2 ways you could play this. You could look for a bounce in the zone, look for the fake out, and then we're looking for some kind of pump on S. So you will exit if the candles close, say, under 48. If you get a candle close under 483, that could be an exit plan for you. Alternatively, if it drops lower down, you're going to look for a candle close under 469. If you get a candle close under 469, that might be a little bit bearish there for you. So those are your 2 degen options. You can look for degen plays there. Alternatively, you can take on a little bit of risk and say, okay, you believe this might reverse this weekend for X, Y, and Z. And you can see a couple of reasons why I'm interested in this. Let's look at the 2 hour just to confirm. You can see that 2 hour is looking like it may want to start reversing at some point. So based on that information, you could say to yourself, okay, I'll nibble a little bit in this region. I will nibble a little bit as there's weakness to the downside, and I'll lower my average entry. So what you can do by slowly laddering into a position is lower your average entry, and you'll probably get your average entry at about 47.9, 477, somewhere in that type of region, and then you'll stop out at a close under this 469 zone. So you could slowly start building a position as long as you believe that you're going to get some kind of bounce. So some of the information that I'm looking at here tells me, I'm prepared to take on some risk, and I'm still sitting in this long here on S. And if we start getting momentum, we're going to start adding and try and get some kind of move going here on S. So that is the game plan. Remember, all these charts go straight into Chart Hackers after the show for you guys, and you can take a look there at your leisure, obviously. Let's cover Hype, and then I'm handing over to the boys. Double divergence. Okay, so earlier this morning we were talking about Hype, and I was saying look for divergence and reversals on the oscillator. Now they've given us double divergence print on the 1 hour. It is starting to turn up. We also had our hot zone activated. You can see we've got the hot zone indicator active now. We've got our reversal print, we've got the flame, and Hype is starting to look interesting. So this was a zone we earmarked yesterday. I think we were sitting up here. We earmarked this zone as the main zone of interest for me on Hype. So I wouldn't rush out of this trade. I wouldn't rush into it either. You can see the main entry is 14, which is what we were looking for. And for me, it's bearish under this 13.5 zone. So if we close under this trend, you can see the note here on the chart, then we start looking a little bit bearish, and we might be heading a little bit lower. So in terms of Hype, main support is 14. Where can this go? I'd say best case, we have a pumpy weekend. We get 16.4 out of Hype. I wouldn't go much harder or much higher than that for now. So that's about a 17% off that 14 zone. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And remember, guys, the market is so choppy at the moment. So if you do get something going and the market starts moving, you either want to compensate there by having a couple of head shorts or raising your stops to entry or just protecting yourself a little bit more, de-risking as it goes up and things like that. Remember, we're seeing round trips so quickly, like Pepe, for example. We got a small pump. I don't remember the number, 7, 8, 9%, somewhere around there, and then a full reversal at the moment, sitting on support. Is it going to bounce now? We're going to have to wait and see. Okay, let's hand over to the guys. Dave, give us something, bro. Give us something, guys. I'm gonna put your screen up here.
All right. Can you guys see it? Can you hear it? All right.
Yo.
So I actually missed the cake short that you guys were looking for. I guess different time zone, whatever the case may be. But I had actually drawn this out, and I had an alert at the top of the trend that went off this morning. So I don't know if it's ran away too hard, and so you had told me that Panda also spotted this one out. So awesome to see Confluence in the chart hackers. But essentially, we had came right into a trend, right? So if you guys were looking at this like a long, you'd see that we would be longing the trend all day, every day, right? So this is just inverted. So I'm going to zoom in here closely, and so my entry is actually at the wick top at 282. As you were starting the show, it just kept dumping, and I hope it's not too late, but essentially it's already ran like 5%. So, you know, I think low leverage, this is still an entry. If we get any kind of pump up into this zone here, the key really is to make sure that we do not go above this high. I've got a pretty hard stop loss in this region here. Gave myself about 2 or 3%, but I would say low leverage now, maybe 5x. And if we get any kind of pumps into this zone here, you can enter the trade. Now, again, I feel like maybe this has ran away, so I was just scrambling to find another one. This one is actually, oh yeah, keep in mind too, this is another thing that stands out for Cake, is that we have a, on the chart prime oscillator, we have a bearish divergence with a blue reversal dot that printed on the 15-minute candle, right? So shorter time frame indicator, which typically translates into the higher time frames. Okay, so I think Cake is still going to play out here. Before I jump into the next short, real quick, I wanted to just explain my targets. So the general rule is every 3, 4, 5% take some profits. But if you look here on the 2-hour time frame, we have a point of control that's showing at 247. So I would say I'm definitely going to shave probably half off the table here. So I'm still looking for additional 7, 8% move here. But then ultimately coming down to the 382, which has an anchored VWAP in 200-day. I think that's the kind of the final target for me, right? So I'm going to probably shave 75% off the table at that point, leave an extra 25 just in case it runs a little bit harder. I gave 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗵 a call on the chart hackers this week, probably one of the best banging calls I had here, but I took about 66% off the table here, still letting the rest ride here. And you can see that these things can just keep dropping and dropping. So maybe the same situation can happen for Cake, where we come down to the 382, we lose the 382, lose the anchored VWAP, we come down to this trend. And then if we lose this trend, then I would think the 618 or the hacker zone would be an amazing take profit zone here. So this could be a 30% move in the cards, but not going to get greedy. I'm going to start shaving a good amount here and a good amount here. Okay. So just in case this has ran away, the other short, and then credit to Jason for putting this on my radar. He actually called the top here and shorted it earlier in the week. But here we are coming up into a 618 retrace, or the hacker zone retrace. What I've done here for drift is I've taken a fib from the top to the bottom, and you can see there's a point of control. There's a bearish order block here. There's a 50-day MA, just a lot of things here that is screaming short zone territory. So I would say set your guys' alerts here at 67.2. Not in the trade, but looks like a decent head short here. So 50-day MA, point of control, and 618 retrace. Okay, so very simple there. You can already see that we've got some overbought signals here. And so I do want to give you guys a long as well, right? So I gave you guys, I'd like to give you guys a short and a long, but just in case Cake has ran away and you're like, man, that's just, I don't want to enter there. Get ready for the drift. But the last setup here is 𝗬. So gave this one on Tuesday, called the value area low here, 618, had a nice little pump there. I think we had decent little 13% run there, but we have round tripped into the 786. So let me go ahead and drop or zoom in here just a little bit better for you guys. So I've got a fib from that move that started on Tuesday to the high that ended on the 20th. And you can see that we came right in to the 786. I've got a rising trend situation here as well. We also have seen that Tau has broken trend and had a retest here. So I really like seeing setups like this where we break trend, we retest on the outside of the trend, and we're still maintaining this rising trend situation, 786. And not to mention too, but we have a bullish order block here. And then we have the value area low and 618. So there could be a situation where we do something like this and just essentially value area low to value area high, right? So again, we're not getting pumps into the value area high or the 618. You can see that I've taken a fib from the high here to the low, and that's been the target for a while now, is the 618 and the value area high, which would give us a nice little, you know, almost a 20% move here. But based on the up down situation, I would say take some profits at the point of control. So nice little 5% pump, take some profits, and then hopefully we get a pumpy weekend, which is what I'm betting for. And we continue to move up towards the value area high here. So
this is going to be round two. This is going to be round two for me on tower. So I was in a speculative tower looking for a big pop yesterday, and that thing now reversed. So I like this. Okay, so round two for me. I'm going to start an entry here now. I like that. Very nice little setup for the weekend, and easy exit. Nice, bro.
Got a lot more, but got to be in the chart hackers to see that. I'll be going live here in about 40 minutes and dropping that alpha for you guys.
Thank you, Captain. Nice, bro. Chaos, what do you got there? Something dotty.
I have. I'm just going to update you, if you wouldn't mind, on your hype trade, because it was an absolute banger. And we're at a really important point. Can I show you dot as well? But I've got hype.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Let's go.
If you share my screen. Is it working? There we go. So just a really, really quick update on the 15-minute on the hype, guys. Obviously, for those of you who are in chart hackers, what an absolute banger trade, guys. Thank you for that this morning, by the way. We're just hitting the quantum reactor, which can obviously be a point of support, but also, if you look back, a point of resistance. Okay, you can see how we bounce off this thing until we claim it, and then sometimes we bounce off it, sometimes we bounce above it, whatever, we bounced off it there. But the point is, we're just coming up to it as resistance, just literally now. So I just want to show you guys where we are. I've actually, on my trade, while we were live just now, I've just taken profits on this trade. And what I'm expecting, looking at this, if you look how sort of overbought we are here, I'm actually expecting potentially one of these reversals and maybe even an overbought, the orange block, to appear. And then I'm actually expecting to retest this. Now, if you look here, the red line is what we call the money flow point of control. And it makes complete sense to me to actually retest this. So I've taken profits on the trade. If you look here, this is printing a bit of a Darth Maul candle anyway. I'm expecting to come down on a round trip, and I'm going to go in for round two, somewhere around the 14.3 region. So I've already taken profits from the first trade. I'm expecting a pullback. I'm
dirty scalping DJ.
I'm longing it again, man. I'm longing this again.
DJ. Okay, what else you got? Give us some dot.
Right, dot. So just to show you guys on dot, what in chart hackers, we've been covering for some weeks now. You can see how far we've dropped in dot. You can see how many times we've respected these zones with dot. I haven't obviously drawn. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we spent, where's this? May 22, guys. This will be our third year in this zone, okay? So if you look at where we are, it's, mate, it may be a shitcoin, but dude, look, from there to there, it's 220%, man.
Dude, it's been holding a lot of strength, man. I've been watching dot, honestly. Like,
I'm telling you, this isn't done. We've had it. How many times have we had this, Dave? Like 1, 2, and if you go further back on the weekly, you'll see it. And this chart doesn't go back far enough. Anyway, but the point is, we've been here time and time again. We seem to always recover this zone. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is just give you guys a quick zoomed out version of where we are. So you can see we're in the bottom zone. Obviously, we've got multiple points, which could be our TPs moving on up. On the 1 hour, sorry, there's a lot going on here, guys. I try and make it as simple as possible. We're approaching the top of a descending channel. We're also continuously bouncing off an upward rising trend line. As well as that, you've seen the zones where we are. We're so far down. Assuming that dot pulls another market recovery when the next bull run leg, whatever you want to call it, comes, you've seen there's 220% to play with. What I'm looking to do here is to give you guys one of two scenarios. Either we push out through this channel, we retest this thing, either here or back on the trend line if we're a bit further up here, and we start to actually reclaim some of these levels. That's scenario one. Or scenario two, this was the high, this gives us a lower high, and we actually drop this, use it as resistance, and then what I'll be looking to do here, guys, is give you a short. So at this exact moment in time, we're very, very close to decision. Decision's going to be made somewhere in this circle, okay? I can't give you a long or a short today, but what I can tell you is there is the absolute mother of all longs coming, and you guys have got to be in Chart Hackers to hang out with me. We are going to catch this, guys.
Dude,
that'll play, yeah, that'll play in the 20% club there. But if you look at history on DOT, let's just be fair to DOT, even though it's such a shit coin, let's be fair. If you look at that chart, you might get a few weeks of consolidation at these lows. So just because you're entering now doesn't mean it's not going to drop another 15% back to the lows and chop around. But what we can see is if we use something as simple as history as a guide, there's a high probability that it bounces here at some point. So if you have patience, there's a 200% trade. And Kimmy says she loves DOT.
I don't blame her.
That's the thing, guys. Like, I went on their Twitter. They are still hanging around.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Guys, I want to cover. I've got to cover two more things for you. Let's go TON. There was a question from the guys about TON, so let's add this one quickly. Chaos, you done with DOT?
Yeah, man.
You got more info?
I'll update you all in Chart Hackers when this decision is made. Yeah.
Nice one,
Okay.
Chaos.
Nice, bro. Very, very nice. This man's a legend with these swing trades. I'll tell you, pay attention to what this man is doing. Okay, let's go TON. So the question was, is TON going to fall over? So obviously we can never tell the future. We can only use the information that's been generated from the past. Okay, so we can only plan based on what we've seen before. And I gave you guys the short probably for 2 days in a row now. We've been looking for shorts on this TON, still sitting in it, and no reason to exit. So far, it's followed the plan. There was a bullish announcement on TON yesterday, $400 million worth of funding. And based on the price action, I was saying that it's most likely that all the insiders knew about it, pumped it. Then the announcement came out, flushed out everybody, and now the top may be in for this move. Okay, so I'm remaining short in TON for now. You can see, yes, we are in a potential bounce zone right now. You can see there's argument for a long. There's a 50-day. We've got horizontals. We've got a trend. So there is a bounce play potentially. But for me, my longer-term view is TON's going to drop, and if we get it right, we're going to take out this candle. So that's going to be the ideal scenario for me, that we get a nice hard drop after consolidating. And we have seen these scenarios many times. We saw it on Cake as well. Cake, we sat in probably 3 or 4 or 5 days. We sat in Cake, and then it eventually fell over nice and hard. So in terms of the oscillator, 4 hour, lots of divergence printing. Now it's trying to accelerate to the downside. Let's see what happens when it gets down here. Okay, if we get a move down here and we start getting a divergence print, it probably tells us that we are going to be hitting these lower regions. So a lot's going to be told in the story of the 4 hour oscillator. If this 4 hour starts reversing and TON is still sitting up around this type of zone at 3.45, then it's probably time to start looking for the bounce play. Okay, so we've got to be guided, by the tools that we have. But so far, so good. The short is actually printing. It is in profit. And if you want to protect yourself, stops at entry. If anybody got this from yesterday, alternatively, stop option is candle close above 3.8 or candle close above 3.9. Those are your stop options. Play around with what suits you, what you are comfortable with, obviously. And then in terms of Aptos, I'm going to keep holding the Aptos short. I believe we might get a lower move. The reason being, 4 hour divergence print now on the oscillator. You can see the oscillator moving printing lower highs there, and you can see our price action over here printing higher highs, reversing at a resistance band. So I'm going to hold that one, and let's see how this plays out. So ideally, dream scenario for anybody short now is we consolidate here, maybe a little bit of a bounce, but then we lose that trend, and then we start coming down there. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And Slothman says whales don't speak. Why don't the whales speak, bro? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Whales not speaking? Are we talking about like literally dolphins and whales, or are we talking about the whales that buy shit? What are we covering here in the chats, boys? Do we know?
I've got no clue. I'd like to know.
Okay.
I'd like to know.
What's that? I mean, John's literally got whale emotes coming out here, and he's part of the Beard Oil Boys. Okay. Yeah, so he says they communicate with sonar. Guys, this is wonderful. We're talking about whales and wildlife in the chats. Okay, so Aptos, that's the play. For me, I'm going to stay short. Resistance 5.63. That is a danger zone. Obviously, if you close above that, then we're turning bullish again, and we're tracking 6 to 6.07. So that makes the most sense to the upside. Other than that, I saw some of the guys in the chats asking for a Bitfunded. Now, who was getting rinsed there in the chats, James? Somebody was in the chats right at the start said, please can I have a Bitfunded? Are you still here, sir?
That would be Clifton Chen. He asks every show. He's in the comments every day. Yeah.
Do you ask every day? Okay, so guys, I'm going to show you something interesting. So Clifton Chen, I'm going to send you a Bitfunded. Okay, this is what you need to do. Clifton Chen, you're going to mail, what is it, James?
Dylan.giveaways at cryptobanter.com.
Okay, so Clifton, this is what you need to do, bro. Okay, this is the condition. Okay, I'm going to send you this one, mail it. Okay, but you need to learn some skills. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to do my accelerator course. Okay, so here's the accelerator course. I got my workshop starting in 10 days. It's a limited time period now for this workshop, and this is one of the last times you're going to see this workshop for free. Okay, so it's coming in 10 days time. I want you to be there because at the workshop, I'm going to teach you guys my Bitfunded strategy on how I get these funded accounts. You can see I've got 2 funded accounts. I had 3 funded accounts, but I actually lost my $25,000 funded account when the market came and absolutely shat itself. So now I've got 2 Bitfunded funded accounts. I'm going to show you guys my strategy in how you can do it and how to trade Bitfunded to get your funded accounts. So these are real money accounts now. I've passed the challenges and they've given me these real accounts. So make sure you guys are signed up to the Xcelerator School. I'm talking Bitfunded at the next workshop, and we'll cover all of that stuff there. Okay, so Clifton, and you must come into Hackers, bro. You must definitely come into Hackers. So Clifton, if you're still there, that is the mail address. Hopefully he is still there. 𝗂𝘆𝗶, what is he asking every day? He's joined Chart Hackers. I saw him in Chart Hackers. He's a new member. Welcome, sir. Okay, well, we'll fire up some stuff on Sunday on the banger session. Right, boys. Have a lovely weekend. David's session starts shortly. Thank you. Legends. What a pleasure to work with such fucking legends. Okay, such epic people. And this is like only a portion of the team that we have in Chart Hackers. Guys, really, it's a proper thing. Okay, have a good weekend. You've got your levels, you've got shorts, you've got longs. I think you are well looked after in terms of what you need, your tools this weekend. Just don't do anything in between with all the noise in between. Don't get chopped up sitting on the couch watching Grey's Anatomy, trying to trade, doing those things. Don't do that, okay? Just wait for the big levels, play the game nicely, and we'll see you guys soon. Catch you later.